How a COVID lockdown helped make an award-winning winemaker in South Africa. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share Cape Town, South Africa. AP. Like millions of others, Natasha Jacka went stir-crazy during the COVID-19 lockdown in 2020 until it dawned on her that there might be great opportunity in having nowhere to go. Jacka used the pandemic and the suspension of her studies at an agricultural college to plant her own vineyard at her family home in South Africa. It was a way to fast-forward her dream of becoming a winemaker by bringing it, literally, within reach. Nothing in the wine world moves too fast, though, and it was 4 years before the first harvest and vintage. Jacka's debut wines from grapevines that she planted, cared for, and harvested in the yard of her parents' sea-facing home in Cape Town. Also stomping the grapes herself, were greeted with high praise by critics. Natasha Jacka left, and her mother, Sonia Jacka, work in their vineyard in Cape Town, South Africa, Thursday, June 4, 2026. AP photo/Neil Shore. Natasha Jacka left, and her mother, Sonia Jacka, work in their vineyard in Cape Town, South Africa, Thursday, June 4, 2026. AP photo/Neil Shore. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share Facebook. Copy link. Copied. Print. Email. X. LinkedIn. Blue Sky. Flipboard. Pinterest. Reddit. Read more. What a relief, she said. It could have been so much work, and if it doesn't deliver, then you just feel I can't imagine how I'd feel, Jacka said. I wasn't looking at it like, oh, this is going to make a fortune, or anything like that. This is a labor of love. Christian Eads, the editor of South Africa's respected online wine review publication winemag.co.za, said that Jacka's project was a triumph of hope over good sense, given how difficult it is to produce fine wine and turn a profit from such a small vineyard. Jacka squeezed 1,400 vines into 2 blocks in her parents' garden, which had at one time been part of a small holding, one batch to produce a white blend, the other Syrah red wine varietal. That's a tiny number considering that regular wine farms usually have more than 50,000 vines. There's plenty of space in the world for craft and handmade, Eads said. It's the opposite of mass-produced. It's made with thought and care, and typically hard to come by. Natasha Jacka evaluates wine during the period it matures in oak in Cape Town, South Africa, Thursday, June 4, 2026. AP photo/Neil Shore. Natasha Jacka evaluates wine during the period it matures in oak in Cape Town, South Africa, Thursday, June 4, 2026. AP photo/Neil Shore. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share Facebook. Copy link. Copied. Print. Email. X. LinkedIn. Blue Sky. Flipboard. Pinterest. Reddit. Read more. The coronavirus pandemic struck at the height of Jacka's ambition. She was 27 and tired of working for grumpy chefs, had left a job in the restaurant business to study viticulture at an agricultural college in the winemaking town of Stellenbosch, just outside Cape Town. She was following her passion and full of zest, she said, when the pandemic reduced her world to the boundaries of her parents' home in the Cape Town suburb of Noordhoek. Then, one day, she saw potential there. Sign up for Morning Wire. Our flagship newsletter breaks down the biggest headlines of the day. Email address. Sign up by checking this box. You agree to AP's terms of use and acknowledge that AP may collect and use your data pursuant to our privacy policy. I was actually looking out the window and I thought, imagine if there were vines here, she said. It was a small spark that was followed by conversations with her family to get their buy-in, and then a large amount of work. Natasha Jacka applies wax to wine bottles in Cape Town, South Africa, Thursday, June 4, 2026. AP photo/Neil Shore. Natasha Jacka applies wax to wine bottles in Cape Town, South Africa, Thursday, June 4, 2026. AP photo/Neil Shore. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share Facebook copy link copied print email X LinkedIn Blue Sky Flipboard Pinterest Reddit read more Jacka needed to clear the ground, procure more than 1,000 vines, and plant each one of them with a tall wooden stake to hold them. Her parents helped, though Mom Sonia was soon banned from the planting process after putting one vine in upside down. There were also curious neighbors to reassure and an unexpected challenge to negotiate from a miniature horse called Spirit that the family keeps on the property. Spirit thought the vines were tasty. "We lost one or two vines," said Jacka, now age 32. "It was hard to make it horse-proof as well." Jacka's Norfolk project has been the inspiration for a larger winemaking career. Her Alinea line of wines includes 5 others that she's produced from grapes sourced from other parts of the region around Cape Town, which has a rich winemaking tradition. Natasha Jacka stands with some of her wines in Cape Town, South Africa, Thursday, June 4, 2026. AP photo/Neil Shore. Natasha Jacka stands with some of her wines in Cape Town, South Africa, Thursday, June 4, 2026. AP photo/Neil Shore. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share Facebook copy link copied print email X LinkedIn Blue Sky Flipboard Pinterest Reddit read more. She's still looking forward to the next vintage from her vines in Norfolk, though she continues to play the role of picker, stomper, labeler, sales rep, accountant, and delivery truck driver there, she said with a laugh. Eads, the wine critic, who gave Jacka her first positive reviews, said that he's still fascinated by the micro vineyard that grew out of a COVID-19 lockdown. "She managed to not be bored, like we all were," Eads said. "It's really just an extraordinary undertaking." Neil Shore contributed to this report.